I was listening back to one of the mashup vids, and I knew Mark was this was making him laugh. So maybe we can look some more of these up. So the Real World Road Rule Challenge alumni. There's more of them. There's actually some obvious ones that we've missed. One is Jamie Chung, who was in Real World San Diego.
Yes.
She played Stu's wife in Hangover 2.
Yes, she did.
And most recently starred in HBO's Lovecraft Country and Showtime's Dexter New Blood.
She had a big role in Lovecraft.
And I think before Theo Von blew up with the podcasting, she was for a while considered the most successful alumni. Yeah.
So is he considered most successful now?
I would think so. Unless
his podcast. I mean,
his podcast is,
as a comic.
No.
Anyways, he's a great comic.
Right, but he wasn't like the most successful, but his podcast is. All right, Jacinda Barrett, who was in Real World London.
Model.
She was in, she's super hot.
Yeah.
And she was in the Ladder 49 and Poseidon and was a regular on shows like 0 Hour, Bloodline, and Suits. I've seen Bloodline. I haven't seen the other ones.
I'm all for on that.
Bloodline was okay. Had the guy from...
Is that a vampire show or something?
No, it's...
That's what I
Does
thought.
it take place in the Everglades?
That's a perfect
Yeah.
title for a
The coach from Friday Night Lights.
Yeah, I've heard good things.
Yeah, it
the
wasn't
FBI
bad.
agent from Wolf of Wall Street.
Yeah. I just watched that the other day, too.
It's so good.
All right, let me see what else we got here.
Chandler.
David...
Kyle Chandler.
Yeah, that's it. David Guintoli from Road Rule Season 12 had a lead role as Nick Buckard in NBC's Grimm, which ran for 6 seasons and 123 episodes. Never heard of that show, but...
Nope.
I've heard of it. I never really...
I haven't heard of him or the show.
Okay.
There you have it.
Then you got Johnny Bananas, who's Johnny Debinazio. That's a really super Italian name.
Shocked.
I don't remember that guy.
Yeah,
he was on the challenge or something, right?
Yeah, he was the most successful guy on the challenge. He's won the most times. 7 times he's won it. He's got over $1 million. But he did a TV show on NBC called One Look for 6 seasons.
What?
NBC?
Did he just get in trouble or...
I don't think
he
so.
was in the news for something. Maybe
Really?
divorce or something.
Johnny Bananas? That's
Bananas.
That's like his. That was
Not
his
his
name
Christian
on the show.
name. That's his
That's not his
given
Christian name though.
I have no idea who he is. I never heard of that show.
Yeah. Oh, see, the challenge is that's what
I didn't
hooked me
watch
in.
this, though. I didn't watch any of this nonsense.
I was all into the challenge. As a matter
Yeah,
of fact,
I was
I
too.
stopped watching Real World and Road Rules and just watched the challenge up until like 5 or 6 years ago. I was always
Really?
watching it. Yeah.
It was still on and all that stuff?
Yeah.
And then they
That's crazy.
reinvented it on Paramount Plus,
Oh, your mic, please.
and they have. It's called the Challenge All Stars.
Oh, Jesus.
So it went to like all these other weird shows that I never heard of, like Are You the One and Survivor, Big Brother. Like
Goonies,
anybody
Red Dawn.
anybody
Yeah.
could be on the challenge. And then they made the All Stars, and it's back to all of the people that we grew up watching in the 90s. So they're like our age.
Was challenge based on reality stars that did other stuff, and then they put them on the show challenge, and they had to do like
Well, it was originally
Survivor type thing.
It was originally Real World and Road Rules. You want me to get you deep on this?
Oh, Jesus.
I doubt it.
So, like, in one season of the Real World Road Rules, they always had like missions to like I forget how Road Rules works, but it was like a mission-based show. Every episode was a mission, and one season, the mission was to go to the Road Rules house in Miami and steal a pool ball off the pool table. And so they did that. And it was like the highest rated show. So then the next season, they had a whole episode where they did a competition against each other. I forget what seasons, but it was Real World. And then the following season, they made a series out of that episode, which is basically Real World Road Rules. And it was like that for like a decade. And then the Road Rules stopped. They stopped producing the Road Rules. So they were running out of people to pluck from. And so then they incorporated Big Brother and all these other shows that I'd never seen. And so that was the point of the All Stars was to go back to like the original thing.
So I think, the point of the whole thing is if they don't have a big audience, they're going to pull from the other show's audiences, right? All crossovers are so they can get more people to watch the show that's not being watched.
Whoa, like a Law and Order, Homicide, Life on the Street crossover. All right.
Yeah.
Which were pretty damn good at the time.
So just a couple other ones. The guys, and these ones I don't know some of these. Mike Manning from Road Rule DC won a daytime Emmy in 2009.
Nick Manning?
Yeah. And then how about this? This girl Heather Cook from Real World second season in Vegas became a professional soccer player and played for both the Philippine and Swedish national teams.
Good for her.
Wow.
And then Road Ruler Susie Meister and Real Worlder Sarah Rice, who famously got screwed out of winnings from Johnny Bananas in the challenge. They have a successful podcast called Brain Candy that I've never.
I've heard of it.
I've heard of it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Ours is better. I can
think
already
so.
tell you ours is better.
But she did just real quick because this is kind of fucked up. Her and Johnny Bananas, they made it to the end. There was like a pairing of the challenge, and they won it. And then they threw a curveball. I think Bananas had like the better overall time, and so he got to choose whether he could split the money or take the money, and he took all the money. Yeah, it was like $1 million.
It's like a wrestling move, right?
But they were like what I just described to you when it started was all like stupid shit. It was like pin the tail on a donkey and fucking like stupid easy shit. This one where he screwed that girl Sarah, they were like on the top of a fucking mountain in like freaking somewhere in Europe or something. Like it was legit.
Sure it was.
No, it was.
You believe whatever you want.
All
my
reality
guy.
TV is legit.
Yeah. Wrestling's fake, but reality TV's.
What do you think? They weren't there?
Dude, this is all a production.
Oh, I know it's a
all
production.
fake, like Jerry Springer, all that shit.
But what do you mean by
Bro,
fake? You think they're
It's
not there?
scripted.
Yeah, but you say they're not there?
No, it's scripted though. Like she knew he was like it was in the cards for him.
No,
to
that's
screw
not
her.
true. That's not true.
Here we go.
It's not. I mean, what are you basing that on? That's not
Real
true.
to me.
It's not true. Though.
In real life?
Why would you do that? That's bad production.
Because people watch it.
No, that's bad production. Why would you do that?
But it seems real, right?
No, Steve, you don't want to do that. You want them. You give them the option. They gave him that option because it was him. You want to get her natural response to it. You're not going to tell her in advance.
Do we know it's her natural response? I mean, these people are actors.
She
Or they
has.
wanna be actors.
She has refused.
they're actors.
She has refused to do anything on any MTV production from now on.
And honestly,
Well, that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, that doesn't make. I mean, I love you, but that doesn't make any sense. Like, why would he? She was one of their best players. Why would they
I
do
think
that?
It's all scripted. I thought all these reality shows are scripted. Jersey Shore, freaking like all.
No, they're not
I
scripted.
thought it's all scripted. Like they fake these fights and they make it.
I mean,
exciting for people.
No, but I mean, they
Big
don't.
Snooki-
They don't script stuff, though. I mean, they
They
def-
have to.
they manipulate
Why- why do
situations.
they have to?
And then they
Because
edit,
people
and then they,
aren't that interesting. You have to have something to make the show
you
interesting.
guys are. There's no
I think
way.
some are scripted more than others. I think some they
They're not
just
scripted at
manipulate.
all.
Scripted.
There's no way they're not scripted at all.
you know how much money
It
goes
is,
into
'cause-
that?
Who's writing the script?
The production company.
Wrong. That's more money.
Did you
AI.
work on one of these?
So-
How do you know all
That's
this?
the whole reason that reality TV is so popular is because
People think it's real.
They think it's
That's
real.
why wrestling
But
was
do you know
popular.
House
That's not-
Hunters?
the whole reason why reality TV is popular is because it's less expensive. And one of the major reasons why it's less expensive is because there's no writers.
Well, you don't need good writers.
You just you
I
throw
don't know.
spaghetti at the wall.
I keep going back to Jersey Shore.
Yeah.
I've heard people talk about when you watch it, like even the camera shots change, like they're talking and then
No, they definitely
and then
do things
the
like
girl's
they'll-
hair is in a ponytail
Yeah,
and then
they'll-
it's down and but they're still having the same conversation. Like,
Okay, but that's editing though. That's not scripted.
but isn't it?
No. Well, I guess all right.
It
So
has to
maybe
be.
maybe we're talking semantics here. Like I'm not saying they don't manipulate the story in the edit booth, but it's not scripted. They're not telling Sarah Rice, "Hey, Johnny Bananas is going to fuck you out of $500,000. Act like it's really bothering you." Like they're not going to tell her that. They're just going to do it. There's no way, Steve. There's no way they're doing that.
I don't know, man. Well, listen, if that's,
There's no
I
way
mean,
they're doing.
you've watched more than I have.
But I
so
just
guess
I don't
have
understand.
to- I
There's
have
no
to.
benefit to doing that. There's no benefit to doing that.
why not? People think it's real.
Do you think it's real?
No.
So you think the TV producer is going to think, oh, well, people are going to think this is real, even though
Yes.
it's not real.
Yes, they did that with wrestling
It's
for
not
years.
wrestling, though. Wrestling is scripted.
I know.
What?
Well, no, not necessarily.
Oh, okay.
What?
No, I mean they're not like okay. It's not like move for move, it's like, all right, listen, you're gonna win.
Yeah.
Just make it look good.
Yeah.
So whatever you guys need to do.
Yeah.
Okay, but
You're gonna win. Like he's gonna win, or like you're gonna get disqualified. But like, not every single move is like okay.
So you're saying when a challenge season starts and they have 30 contestants go there, they already know who's going to win?
I think they have a know I think
way.
they know who want to win.
There's no point to that at
It's
all.
got to be the most interesting people involved in the.
No, some of the most interesting people on the challenge have gone out in the first season. I mean, the first episode of a season.
But there's other interesting people there that are win. Like you can't have a show without interesting people or
Johnny
interesting
Bananas won it 5 times. You said
7.
all right. Well,
Jesus
so
Yeah, but
he's got a personality, right?
100%. But multiple times he's gone on the first episode, including his first time.
I'm just saying, a lot of people on these
He didn't
shows
develop
are
it.
trained actors. So I mean,
the writers.
they're
didn't
not just
develop
picking
it.
people off the street. They're actors.
I mean, where are you getting this information from?
Look it up.
Look it up where?
Anywhere.
No way.
Okay.
They're not trained. If you were a trained actor, why would you go on the real world?
To break in to Hollywood
So they're
by any
not
means necessary.
They're actors. They're just not. They're not trained.
Well, some of them went to school for it.
Some of them, but most of them just.
Some of them are trying
somehow,
to be actors. They're
right.
Trying to
Yeah.
break
Most
in.
of them are trying to break
and this
into
is
the
their
entertainment
opportunity. It's a
industry.
foot in the door.
Honestly, that's one of the reasons that, like ABC's Bachelorette franchise.
Never heard of it.
They have
Sure.
they have the whole
I just did that to see your reaction.
summer one. They have the beach one. I can't think of the name of it. I don't know. It's the
Bachelor on the Beach?
Bachelor in Paradise.
Okay.
Bachelor in Paradise.
Bachelor in
They-
Space.
they-
That's
in-
real too.
They basically take the most obnoxious people for the most part. They'll have like the really sweet, like innocent girl or guy, and then they have, they're all pairing off on the beach, but they take kind of like the villains from the seasons. There's always going to be like one person that says, I'm not here to make friends or whatever, and that's backstabbing people.
Yeah.
And so they put him on a beach, all these beautiful people on a beach, and they pair off and they have contests and whatever, and there'll be two people that are like, they're really
That's
in
casting,
love and hooking up, and then
They have
bring in
chemistry.
someone
They have
like
chemistry.
everyone's paired up, and then they bring in a new batch of like 10 girls, and then they see what happens there. So most of them are not there to find their soulmate, right? They're there to get their
No,
faces
true.
on TV.
Bingo.
But they also know the more obnoxious they are, the more screen time they're going to get.
Exactly.
So that's
100%.
kind of why people act like assholes
So how many
all the time.
this Bachelor show? How many of these people are still married or whatever?
A few that stuck. The original Bachelorette, she's married to
Strangely,
her husband.
I've never seen one episode of The Bachelor or The Bachelorette.
The original Bachelorette and her husband are married. They live in Colorado, and he's a firefighter. She was like an NBA cheerleader or something.
Of course she was.
Like a dancer.
Yeah, of course she was.
Yeah. She's beautiful, but she's somewhat normal. And I honestly didn't think she was going to pick this guy. I was kind of mad. Like, oh, they're going to break his heart. And because he was like a sweet guy, he wrote her poetry. And the other guy was like very like suave and whatever. But he was a fireman and she liked that. And but they have,
I take it back.
They have 2 or 3 kids. I think maybe 2 kids. They've been married now 25 years or
That's
something.
1 out of 20 seasons.
And there's a couple others.
I just want the record to show I don't know anything about the private lives of the people on the Real World Road Rules Challenge. Heidi's got me beat on that.
Well, because I still watch the show, so they like
Update it.
they update it, and then whenever a couple does get married, they have they do it on TV, and then they have the people from the past seasons come.
Do you watch the one with the older the
Fascinating.
senior
I
citizens?
did watch that, and it was
I swear to God.
Oh wait,
they
senior
have,
citizen. Isn't the guy
the
like
Golden
50?
Bachelor.
Is he like our
No.
age?
no, they're like in their 60s, right? Easily.
Yeah. They
Yeah.
were
Well,
like
they're
they-
not us.
He was
Close.
widowed, and like the woman he chose was widowed, but they actually got married, and they were divorced like a month later.
Of course they were.
Yeah.